This is the Park80 Kid 76 here, and this video I would like to show some of my interesting feature is the new version iOS 10. The iOS 10 features which already released on Tuesday were all of the versions of the operating system, including the newer devices such as iPads, iPhones, and iPod Touch 6th generation. But my older version iPad mini doesn't have the iOS 10 version, which I will get the new version of the iPad, which is the iPad Air 2, probably this Christmas. So without further ado, let's boot it up. As you can see, I'm still using the iPod Touch 6, which my dad got this for my birthday last year, so here we go. Yeah, instead of slide to unlock, all you gotta do is press home to open. Yep, it has the same interface for this iOS device, so as you can see right there, this is my iPod Touch 6, the ones I still have here. But if you slide, I'm gonna go to the widget panel. Yep, this is the new version iOS 10 with the widget panel. Now you can see that here. Let me focus on that. Yep, this is the widget panel. It has up next, you know, where it's the alarm. Tomorrow it starts at 7:30, which I will show you the clock settings for this version. As you can see, Siri app suggestions. You can show more if you want with all the apps that I downloaded, especially the settings and the calendar. And you can read the news and their top stories there, as well as the news about the iOS 10 and the weather on that. And you can see map destinations, but it says no upcoming destinations. On that, you could put the destinations if you want to put the maps on it. As you can see, the calendar, but there's no events. The reminder, but there's no upcoming reminders. And the stocks, as you can see on that. If you want to edit this thing, all you got to do is edit for this widget panel. You can see add widgets on that. The upcoming Siri suggestions and all that. If you want, you can add some of this, some of the widgets. That's why I'm just demonstrate this thing. Well, so this is a interesting one. Let me just go back here. And you can see the FaceTime, calendars, if you want to go on that. Yep, this is the new calendar. This is the month, if you want to do this this year, 2016. This is a 2016 calendars, the 12 months of that. Or you could use as a next year or past years, whatever, if you want to do that. And you could go to this, the photos. As you can see, I just take the photo of Hollywood, Florida, the ones I take a picture while I was on vacation 3 months ago, as well as other photos that I've been taking. There's also the memories and the albums, if you want to do that. This is an interesting one. Let me just go back. There are the camera. If you want to go to the weather, here's an interesting one. Watch what happens. Yep, instead of using a white background, this is a black background. See? How cool is that? Let me focus back. Yep. This is the world clock. If you want to go to the world clock, if you want to set the countries and or you can do that too. You could go to alarm, and here's a new feature, bedtime. This is the bedtime when everyone is asleep, and you can wake up or you can rise up in the morning, and you can see this is the rotation of the clock. Watch what happens. You can see that. If you want to set the time, if you want to do this, just let me go back. Every time, if you want to switch to the bedtime, you can see why. If you want to go to disable it, and you can enable it again, and you can use a stopwatch. You could use a stopwatch, whatever, and timer. It tell exactly what time is timer ends. Or yeah, you could do that. You could go to maps, videos if you want, and all these same features. But now let's go on to the new feature, news. This is the iOS 10 version that has news, just like we did a previous one. You can read the news and their top stories and things like that, you know. If you want trending, there's stories on it. And there's health. You could check them out, their politics and everything. If you want to read the news, if you want their interesting news that was going on, well, you guessed. This is an important things I ever been look at it, and here's an entertainment. So this is the very unique one. Unlike a previous version, iOS 9, they have the same one, but this kind of a different one of this of the news. You could read the stories on it. This is a very interesting one, and other ones for this like it was before. Yep, I think this is an important thing, you know. So, and there's also favorites. If you want to favorite this, the news ones, such as CNN, news editor picks, and news top stories. And there's a reminder. You could use an explorer. You can explore some of their things if you want. There's news, politics, and all of the exploration for this thing. You can search on it. You could see the trending searches, just like it, and save. If you want to save on this, but there's no save stories. And you could go on to the history. Yep, no history. And yes. Now let's go to the iBooks, if it's there. For example, if you want to get this iPhone User's Guide for iOS 10, this is a sample on it, or if you want to get one. But I know there it is, but if you want to download that. Here's a new feature, Health, for the iOS 10, that has an activity, mindfulness, nutrition, and sleep. And you can see much of the same as this for the iOS 9. And you can watch the overview video, and here are today, such as Saturday, and some sources. If you want to go ahead and do the searches on it, or sources on it. And here's a new feature for the iOS 10, is Home. It says My Home, where you could do the home thing, whatever. It says start building your connected home by adding lights, locks, thermostats, and all others. HomeKit, everything. If you want to edit this thing, you could use the edit stuff, such as this. It says select an accessories to add a home. It says make sure your accessory is powered on and nearby. It says my accessory isn't shown here, but if you want to go there, this is my home. If you want to do this thing, if you want to go to invite, and if you take a picture of it, just like I was there, the list goes on and on and on. And you can go back home. And you can use the automation. This is the automation that will transfer this thing to accessories and automatic perform actions, and based on this one, such as the current location and time of day. You can see the Apple TV logo on that, and a bunch of others. And the next one is Wallet. Unlike the iOS 9, this is the Wallet. They used to have a passbook in it, but it's now Wallet. You can find the apps, whatever. You can use the app for Wallet, such as gift cards, coupons, and more. The iOS stores and everything, the retail stores and other kind of stuff here. as you can see, if you want to download this for this cards. And there's also food and drink. If you want to get some of there's food and drink such as 7-Eleven, Dunkin' Donuts, a whole bunch of others, you can see that thing as well. And travel and booking, you could tell this the travel or something such as American Airlines, JetBlue, Southwest Airlines, all other airlines and their destinations on if you want. There's concerts, movies, and events if you want to do that. And yes, you can categorize on this one, populars and all categories if you want. The top charts. Yeah, because we'll talk about wallets and everything. Well, enough of that. And here are the settings. This is the settings, the same one as this version. Here's a new feature, Siri. Yep, I turn on the Siri. And here's an important one. It says, "Hey Siri." If you want to turn this on, where it says, "Hey Siri," and I'll be able to speak, "Hey Siri," every time. Just go back. And same features on it, you know. So that's where I download this one. Let's see if I can go to guides for a second. Yep. This is the update assistant. You could read on that thing. You could use whatever you want. This is the tutorial that explains everything about that. And you can go on news. If you want to see the news about the technology such as the iOS 10, iPhone 7 and something like that, this is one of the interesting ones. You see? If you want to do this any other news that we just saw, just go right ahead. And then there's a menu. If I want to go here, this is the menu screen. You can see the chapters in this thing. If you want to do that. And here's the top rated. You can access premium content such as if you want to buy this thing on iTunes or any other kind, if you buy it. Yep. And last but not least is videos. If you want to restore this one to purchase other videos on that, if you want to buy something, this is the old videos and chapters in this thing. If you want to watch the video of every information on it. Well, that's all we got for this thing. And now let's move on to this one. For example, if I go lift up here, this is the new version of this thing. The airplane mode, Wi-Fi icon, Bluetooth, do not disturb and rotation lock. Or you can adjust the air brightness on this thing. There's also airplane monitoring and airdrop contact only. And here's what I never saw, night shift. If you want to go on night shift, wow, how cool is that? See those night shift? I know some of the videos that had a night shift on it, where you can instruct how to get to some night shift, that it tells exactly when is the night shift turned on until 7 in the morning or something like that. You can also use flashlight, timer, calculator, or camera, or videos if you want. Or you can swipe down here. This is the recent one, same widget panel as this one. There's the recent of today's, yesterday's, and a bunch of others. Or you can view or clear. And there's stocks on the left side. Now let's go into a message. Yeah, you can write a message, but here's an interesting one. You know, with a smiley face icon, watch this. They have emoji. You can design this emoji things, such as people or smiley faces, or there's smileys and people. There's animals and nature, if you want to write it down. Food and drink. Activities such as sports and things like that. Travel in places. Objects, if you want to use this cool design of these objects. The symbols, if you want to use a symbol such as a heart, a heartbroken, or any other kind of symbols, if you want. There's peace, there's horoscope, and all other kinds of the symbols. And last but not least, the flags from around the world. If you could do that on that, yep, you could write it down here and use it as an emoji. And here's a microphone icon and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then you go on mail. It has a new feature on it. Watch this. This is the mail. But if you want to do that, you can go onto an unread mail, just like that. There's no unread mail. If you want to go to inbox, instead of using up and down, watch where it goes. This feature has a left and right buttons on it. And you can view from the previous mail. Just want to check on it. Or you can go to this the following mail, just like I already written on it. You see? They used to have other version with up and down, but on this version iOS 10 has left and right buttons for this mail inbox. And yes, if we write it on this thing, or if you want to edit some, yeah, just like I always got something on it. And I think that might be the last one, is music. Watch how the new feature goes. Yeah, this is the updated version on that, where it says library. If you want to edit this thing for this library, such as playlists, artists, albums, songs, or videos if we want to check, and download music. So I checked these 4 here. And it says looking for your music. Make to purchase on it if you want to purchase on it, or if you want to import some of their songs from this library. And you can go on For You. Yeah, some of that Apple Music, get a free month trial or something. Well, I don't care. Now you can go to the browse. You could browse the music on it, just like that on that. There's many features on it where they're browsing all through the songs or music or albums. But this is how to the artist on it. You can see, go down here, new music, curated playlists, videos, top charts and genres. If you want to do this thing in every step. Now let's go to radio. This is the radio that we selected some of their stations, such as Beats One. It's a free radio streaming, or you can go to Pure Pop. It has an Apple Music. You could use it every stations that you want, you know. And here's view all Beats One shows and view all stations. It has feature stations on it. And recent play the ones I listened, once I tested on the radios to listen on that. And last but not least, search. If you want to search someone, there's artists, songs, albums, any other kind, like this recent search right there. Yep. If you want to clear this recent search on it, whatever you want to put in this library. And that's all there is. This is a very unique feature that has everything in it, just like exactly the same thing. So, as for one more thing before I close this down, let's go to settings again. And here are the wallpaper. This is what I haven't done here. This is the new background for this wallpaper. If I choose this one, this is a wallpaper preview. If you want to go to this still and perspective, or set both. Or if you want to choose the this other wallpaper for this thing, you can see the cool dynamics on it. You can choose a color if you want for this wallpaper, or the same thing as this one. This is the same wallpaper that the previous version, iOS 9, and those other wallpapers. Much of the same design you got. Yep. I have nothing else to say about this other new feature. So there you go. I'm going to set aside here. And that's the look of the new feature iOS 10. So tell us what you think about this feature and leave the comments below. And I hope you had the rest of the summer and the rest of the Labor Day weekend. And as for one last thing, I want to wish my belated birthday, which I'm turning 40. Until then, this is the Park Kitty Kid 76. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.